welcome to Sideshow Live. We have way too much fun doing this show, so just so you know, we love it. We have such an epic show for you today. We have the Elektra premium format figure. I'm so excited. We have the Daredevil premium format figure. We have the Lady Deadpool premium format figure. And we have the Swamp Thing premium art print, which hopefully guest Dave Wilkins is here in time. We heard there was a little bit of a traffic incident because it's Southern California and these things happen. So we are going to get to the show. But you all should know that you need to be asking all of us questions because we have a great group in this room today. We have Dennis in YouTube, potentially John Wick in and out of YouTube. He's not sure. Plus, John Wick's unpredictable. You can't figure out what he's doing in and out of YouTube. Chickie's in Facebook, Kitty's in Facebook, Jen's in the room, Brett and Brendan, the producers, and Challenger is here in his awesome blue shirt because we were... That's like an inside joke. Just Challenger in the blue shirt. That's how you know it's maximum Challenger. Yeah, anyway. We're just going to scale right by that and let you all know that you could win not one, not two, but 3 Deadpool 6-scale figures are being given away in the chat channels today. So during our Q&A segment at the end, where you guys get to geek out with all of the members of the Sideshow Live staff, you have to be sure to be asking us really awesome questions because that is how you win. And you're at the mercy of Chickie and Kitty and John Wick and Dennis, so apologies in advance. Anyway, we have a lot to do, so let's do it. First up, featured collector. I apologize because Challenger was not nice to me this week and gave me the name Jeffrey Schechter. Yeah? Jeffrey Schechter. Ooh, he likes mechs and droids and some Batman in there. Awesome. Jeffrey Schechter, you have an amazing collection. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. If you would like to be the next featured collector, head on over to sideshow.com/blog and click the Apply Now button. We like all kinds of collections. So thank you, Jeffrey. You can be featured in our blog and you will be featured on the show. So that's really, really cool for you and everybody who gets to be featured collector, right? Anyway, on to the news. Friday is the last day for you to pledge to Kickstarter. That's the Project Raygun Court of the Dead Mourners Call Kickstarter. They are already funded, but let's help get those last few stretch goals and pledge while you still can. The final 48 hours kicks off tomorrow, and Court of the Dead will be doing some live streams, and so will Project Raygun, so be on the lookout for that content. It's pretty awesome. Plus, you know, board games. So there's that. And you guys are going to want to know which faction is your faction. So that's pretty amazing too. Shout out to the factions in here. What factions do we have? Are we all 3? Because I know, so we have Chickie's Bone, Kitty's Spirit, I'm Spirit. Bone. Brendan's Bone. Have you taken the quiz?
I haven't actually.
Brett has to take the quiz.
I would guess I'm going to predict them to be Bone.
Okay. You can't guess. You have to take the quiz. So Brett has to take the quiz, and we're going to peer pressure him into doing it. Challenger? Bone. Interesting. Have you taken it? Jen and Brett have to take the quiz. What? What is happening? Oh my gosh. And I know that I'm pretty sure Dennis is also Bone, and then John Wick is also Bone. We have a lot of Bone faction in here. So Kitty and I are going to have to like manifest the spirit and get you guys to stop being so rigid. Anyway, so Friday is the last day for that. Deadpool 2 opens in theaters this week. The red carpet was Monday. And P.S. Blake Lively looked so cool in her Deadpool themed outfit. I wish we had a picture, but go Google that right now because she went full Deadpool. Like Chickie might have a run for her money with the whole full Deadpool thing because Blake Lively really brought it on the red carpet.
I mean, it's Blake Lively.
It is Blake Lively. I mean, she's married to Deadpool.
Right.
So you can't get more Deadpool than marrying Deadpool. Anyway, we're saying that word a lot. So we have a video to show you, and when we come back, we will have the Elektra and Daredevil premium format figures here. You're watching Sideshow Live. We'll be right back. Hi everyone, welcome back to Sideshow Live. I'm so excited for these pieces, and I found out they were going to be on the show. I was like, this? And I was like, I want to talk about them. But we have the Elektra premium format figure and the Daredevil premium format figure. First off, how cool do they look together as a set? I think they look amazing as a set. Very cool. So you kind of can set up your own little Hell's Kitchen kind of display in your home should you so desire. But we're going to take a look first at Elektra. Cool. Awesome. So Elektra is all sculpt. And she is, oh my God, look at how pretty she is. Oh, I'm sorry. Elektra's like one of my all-time favorite characters, and I could not wait to show off this piece. She is holding Size in both hands right now, and she comes with 2 right arms for 2 separate pose options. So you can do the pose where she's standing here like this with one of the arms down, or you can have her arm straight out. It's pretty cool. As well. I just did the pose, but we're looking at her Hell's Kitchen themed base. Oh, there's an image of the pose that's fantastic. So that is what it looks like when her arm is straight out, and both versions of Elektra come with both those arms. So the collector edition and the exclusive come with both display options for the arm. So that is kind of amazing. So you can have her kind of at rest or pointing out possibly her next victim, or whoever she's fighting. So that's really cool. The exclusive that you can see right now on the screen are the swap out hands with the katanas. So that is really amazing. She's available for pre-order tomorrow between noon and 3 p.m. Pacific time, and you can RSVP for her right now, so you can be the first person, not first person, but like in the first group of people to be notified when she goes available for pre-order at sideshow.com/Elektra. And be sure to spell it the comic book way with the K, because a lot of people try to spell it with the C, and I don't know why they do that. So we have a couple questions. Nigel Van Kooten wants to know, please tell me that more Defenders characters are coming. Possibly. Yeah? Maybe? We that's the answer. The truth of the matter is I don't know. They don't tell me because I spill secrets to all of you very easily with very little bribery. So there you go. Dark Mufasa wants to know how are the arms swap out, and are the weapons swappable, or are the arms attached to the weapons? So the hands, so I asked the PM this question, the project manager, yesterday, and the arms are swappable at kind of like where the shoulder would be, but also the hands are swappable at where the weapon would be. So I can't do this right now because this is the prototype and she is very fragile. It's the only one in-house, but you can see the display options. Her whole shoulder right there is in a different pose, so that whole piece comes out and then swap it. Does that make sense? So these statues are like they go in the same type of theme, but Elektra is available for pre-order tomorrow, and Daredevil's already available for pre-order, so you don't purchase them together. You would have to purchase them separately and then display them together in this most beautiful Hell's Kitchen type way. How sharp is the glass on the Daredevil base? Not sharp at all. Because it's not real glass, by the way. If that makes any sense. So let's move on to Daredevil really quickly before we field more questions. Daredevil has his modern suit on, so you can see the kind of like different types of armor, and it's not just like the stretchy spandex, the very, very like armor-like, I guess is the way to put it. He has elastic wire on the billy clubs, but the rest of him is sculpt. And it does make a pretty cool thing that you can do. Like, you can display the billy clubs in different ways, should you want to. You can also, it also comes with a way to swap out the tips of the billy clubs right here, so that way you don't have to have the elastic at all. So if you just want him to have the 2 clubs, he can have the 2 clubs. But there are various ways to display the Daredevil premium format figure with the elastic and without the elastic. So he also has a Hell's Kitchen themed base. Someone's asking if they're the same building. They could be, but they don't have to be. Like, there's elements of them. They look like old New York to me. Very much like run down before Hell's Kitchen was redone and kind of made trendy. This definitely looks like what Hell's Kitchen could have looked like when all those buildings were abandoned in that particular area. I think they're adjacent buildings, but not the same building. That's how I imagine it. Like, I like the idea of the two of them looking at each other, possibly from like across an alley or across a street in Hell's Kitchen. But I didn't actually ask if they were the same building or not because I just assumed they weren't. But I guess it's up to you. You can make your own story with your premium format figures in your display. Someone wants to know, is Elektra taller than Daredevil? The figure is taller than Daredevil. She stands at 23.5 inches tall, and he's about 21 inches tall. But as you can see, Daredevil's crouched in like a position to attack versus like Elektra, who's kind of like showing off what she can do and is in a much more poised stance. So, yeah. What are some of the other questions? Can you show where the arm breaks for the extended arm? I actually cannot. I assume you're talking about Elektra.
You can point to it.
It's right here. This whole piece comes out. You can see the seam right there, but this is the prototype. So I was asked not to do it on camera because it is a very fragile piece. And I apologize that I can't do that. Once a shipping sample comes in, I'm sure she'll be back on the show and I will be able to show you at that point. But right now I can't do that and was asked by the project manager not to. So there you go. I think she's so cool. Do we have any more questions about these two amazing pieces? Daredevil is already available for pre-order, by the way. So you can go ahead and head on over to our website at sideshow.com/daredevilpf. That's sideshow.com/daredevilpf. And you can go ahead and pre-order Daredevil right now. And then tomorrow you can pre-order Elektra. The Daredevil exclusive, hold on, I actually have it here. The Daredevil exclusive is the swap out for the more classic portrait. You can see the difference in the sides right here. He has like kind of a more growling type face, but also it's very different on the sides. There's no kind of helmeted aspect to it. It's more of the hood that you're used to on Daredevil. There's no color variation. It's the classic portrait, like from where he was back in the day. And now you can see on this one, if you get up close to him, you can see that there's like more of an element of armor and stuff to it. So that's cool. And again, the exclusive on Elektra is the swap out katanas, which we do not have up here right now to show you, but they're swapped. There you go in the picture right there. She comes with the size, and the katanas are what swaps out. Dark Mufasa is asking, I know with your design team you like to perform your own take on pieces while keeping the integrity of the character. What was the inspiration for Elektra and Daredevil? That is a question for when one of our design team members comes on the show. I don't know the inspiration necessarily. The inspiration for me is that these are both really amazing versions of these characters, and I personally love the different nods to the different eras of the two characters because Daredevil and Elektra have evolved so much and have been modernized so much over the years. So you can see that we obviously took elements of Elektra's, her classic costume from when she was introduced to now she has all these elements that make her look a lot more modern, like very much like there's leather elements and kind of armored elements, and her boots almost just look like hiking shoes if you really take a look at them. So it's very cool. What Elektra costume designs are mixed into her costume here? Any particular times in her comic career? Again, these are all questions for someone who knows the design elements. I just know what I have right here. I can tell you this looks a lot Like some costume elements are from when Frank Miller wrote her with Bill Sienkiewicz drawing her, and then you have more of the like modern era of like what she looks like kind of now in comics versus you know, there's not a whole lot that's from the Daredevil Netflix show, but there are like, you know, her arm warmers and things like that where you can see those, and obviously her headpiece. She wouldn't be her headpiece without, like, that's classic Elektra right there. Can you show her posed with one katana and one sword? If a katana is a sword, are you saying one katana and one sai? And if so, yes, I believe you can, because there's swap out hands. So the swap out hands would allow you to have one katana and one sai. Oh, sorry. Is there a swap out arm and also a swap? So there's a swap out arm and, okay. Elektra has a swap out arm that holds the sword or the sai straight out. She also has swap out hands, and those are the exclusive. Both the exclusive and the collector edition come with the arm. There you go. Cool. And then Robert Tremoli in Facebook said, can Susan swap the heads? No, Susan's head does not come off. My head does not. Hopefully my head doesn't come off. That's terrible. I can't swap the heads. Wait, maybe I can't. I'm not going to try. I'm not going to try. You know what? If I can swap the heads, I'll bring him back on during the Q&A segment and show you the other head on Daredevil. How about that? But I did not clear that with the project manager, and therefore I can't do that right in this moment. Anyway, I'm very, very excited about these two pieces. They're amazing companion pieces to one another, or you can get them completely individually if you'd like. You can get the Daredevil if you're only a Daredevil fan, or you can get the Elektra if you're only an Elektra fan. But look at them together. Like, they just look so good. Daredevil is available for pre-order already, so head on over to sideshow.com/daredevilpf, sideshow.com/daredevilpf, and Elektra is available for pre-order tomorrow between noon and 3 p.m. at sideshow.com/Elektra. You can RSVP for her right now to be notified the second she goes up for pre-order, and I'm just going to hug her in a very careful way since this is the prototype and the only one that exists. But I love her so much. She's one of my top characters, so I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of this piece. I'm a big fan of the blending. I love when Sideshow is able to capture like a classic image of a character as well as modernize it, as well as put their own spin on it. And I think that we've done that really well with both of these two pieces. So we have a video to show you, and when we come back, we have Lady Deadpool. You're watching Sideshow Live. We'll be right back. So many pieces to this piece. I am so excited to show you guys the Lady Deadpool premium format figure. This is a production sample of her, so it's kind of like the first time we're seeing what you guys will all be receiving if you pre-ordered her. So this is, oh my god, she looks so cool. I just love the different elements and how we're able to play with the character of Deadpool. So we did it first with the Heat Seeker premium format figure, and we were able to do it again with this Lady Deadpool premium format figure. Now, Lady Deadpool, for those of you who do not know, is a member of the Deadpool Corps. She's from an alternate timeline where Deadpool was a woman instead of a man. So yeah, Kitty, that's pretty correct. I'm like,
correct.
I'm like not the biggest, most in-depth Daredevil fan, but I do know a few.
Deadpool.
Did I say Daredevil? Gosh, why did we have them on the same show? I knew I was gonna do that. I am a big Daredevil fan. I'm like, I can do basic Wade Wilson Daredevil. I did it again. Now it's in my head. Deadpool. I love how we are able to get all of these Easter eggs onto Deadpool, and various versions of even the Deadpool core are referenced on Lady Deadpool's base, and on obviously we have Headpool, who is another member of the Deadpool core if you want to get kind of particular about it. So she has this, and this kind of goes anywhere on the base. I like to put it there because then it kind of comes off. Anyway, she has a limited edition of the exclusive of only 750 pieces. And are you wondering, oh, what's the exclusive? It's this amazing Wanda Wilson unmasked portrait, which I also think is equally amazing. There we go. I'm like covering half of it with my hands. Wanda Wilson herself. Look at that. Look at that. And she's looking up because obviously she's looking at her foot, because when you kick something, you look that way. That's how physics works. So there we go. I'm going to try to rotate her just a little bit, but whoa, she's not rotating very easily. Okay, she's going to stay where she is. Because I'm not going to risk, breaking the production sample. So the collector's edition is this, what you're seeing right here. The exclusive was the unmasked portrait. Here, let me try again. I'm so worried. She's like, there we go. Now she's kicking. This is like a slow-mo. Ooh, that was a great camera, like rack focus that you just did right there. Woo! And Wanda. So many characters named Wanda. Anyway, I didn't realize it was a popular name. Yay! This is a very awkward way to turn something, by the way. So Headpool is part of the collector's edition, which means whether or not you get the exclusive swap out unmasked portrait, you will still get Headpool. And she also she's slicing a bullet, as you can see, as you're not looking at, but you will see in a second when, there we go. We were looking at it, and then there's a delay. So there we go. She's slicing a bullet. And she's also, there's another version of her foot that swaps out where she's kicking a rocket. And all of that comes with the collector edition. Oh, are you going to hand it to me? We hear. Thank you. It's 2 pieces. Oh, okay. Wow. So it's a swap out foot like this where she's kicking the rocket. Yeah. And again, this is another one of those situations where if I can swap it out, I will bring her back, but I will not do it live on camera. Armand is asking in Facebook, is there any cut and sew on this piece? There is not. She is all sculpt, I believe. Yeah? Yeah. Oh, no, there's cut and sew. Is there? No, all sculpt. Oh, these, the sculpted belts look very, very much like they could potentially be cut and sew, but they are not. I'm trying to rotate her a little bit better. Ooh, that's a good shot right there. Look at that. She's in action. Anyway, Sean Pearson is asking if they can see the bike base up close. Now, Sean, we can. Here's the thing. I rotated it so the Easter eggs are now facing me. Oh, there's a couple. Okay, you can see a couple. You know what? You can see a couple, and then you need to pre-order it in order to see the rest. Or search online for someone who put up a list of all of them, because I'm sure that exists. You can see the traction on the bottom of her boot, which obviously I had to get some foam off of. But the exclusive edition is still available. 750, that's a low edition size, and you can pre-order her now at sideshow.com/LadyDeadpool, right at the bottom of the screen right there. Sideshow.com/LadyDeadpool. Sounds like she's saying, Headpool, can you go over what she is kicking? I am absolutely saying Headpool. That is a character in the Deadpool universe, It is a talking zombie head named Deadpool. That's him. Because he's just a head. He doesn't have a body, so he doesn't get a full name. Because she's at least, Lady Deadpool, because she's lady. Is the seat cushioned or just sculpted? Oh, it's just sculpted. It does look like a cushion, doesn't it, JJ Joe? But it is just sculpted. You can even see like foam, like innards coming out of the cushion, but it's still just all sculpted. It's just brilliant. So there we go. Can you go? Oh, we already answered. Justin, I think we answered yes, that's Deadpool. Deadpool. Whoa. Rocket. And all this stuff comes with the collector's edition. So, again, the exclusive is the swap out head of Wanda Wilson right here. Yeah. Swap out head of Wanda Wilson. And she is looking at Deadpool that she's kicking. She could be kicking her missile. You never know. But, again, based on an alternate timeline where Wade Wilson was Wanda Wilson, and she is part of the Deadpool core. Yes? Yes. So we have one more break, and Dave Wilkins is here in-house. Yay! So we were talking about the Swamp Thing premium art print. When we get back, you're watching Sideshow Live.
I was always attracted to anything that was monstrous.
He has that urban legend, creature of the swamp kind of appeal. Swamp Thing is a big shambling mound of vegetation that basically is the swamp in human form.
It's actually one of the first comic characters I was actually aware of and became invested in on some level because the hero happened to be an alien or a monster, in this case a swamp monster, so I was immediately drawn into that.
I think Swamp Thing has been a character that has been somewhat neglected in the collectible market. So we were like, hey, let's do this. Let's base it on the old original designs that Stephen Bissette and Bernie Wrightson had done and put our own twist on it and really make an impactful piece for the collectors. The design could kind of get spun every which way, especially with the evolution of the character now. It's kind of taken on more of a human form. We wanted to do that Bigfoot, boggy creek creature that has existed in some of the movies and cinematically. So we had Paul take a stab at it.
In this case, I wanted to take what the artist Stephen Bissette and John Tottleman, what they'd done, and then what Tottleman had brought with his inks, which he'd rendered every single bit of moss and flower and vine that was growing out of the body, and I wanted to get as much as that as I could. We didn't want him aggressive, too aggressive. We just want him abiding in the swamp in a sense, but definitely with a sense of intensity and determination, kind of lurching forward.
Steve Rojas did the first version of Swamp Thing, and he did a great job establishing the overall look that we would go with. When you think about him, you think green, but there's also a lot of brown. We also did some heavy shadowing with some dark greens, like in the deep areas, which really helped bring the whole thing to life.
We got to play with it, and we figured Swamp Thing is an imposing character. He needs to be an imposing collectible. Cranius is Swamp Thing's arch nemesis, the villain in that world.
Obviously, he's the brains of the operation. He's actually a walking brain, and he walks on a large human hand.
And we thought, wow, what would be really cool is if we get Paul on it, let him design it, make it even creepier, and add, Paul's creepy aesthetic, and make that the exclusive.
I think the reason we choose to do these characters is because we can put our spin on it and also pay tribute to a character that has this, there's a culture of fans out there that love the character. We definitely brought to the table something spectacular for a character that doesn't get quite as much love as some of the larger, well-known characters. If you're a fan of Swamp Thing, you're going to want this statue.
As a fan, I'm excited that this piece finally came to fruition. I'm looking forward to having one on my shelf.
welcome back to Sideshow Live. We have Dave Wilkins here. Hi. How's it going?
Excellent.
Good. So you did this amazing Swamp Thing premium art print.
Yeah, I had something to do with that.
Yeah, like you might have been the artist on it.
I might have scribbled on it.
He just scribbled on all. Well, I mean, you kind of did scribble on them because they are all hand signed by you as
That's
well.
true. That's
so
true.
that also qualifies. But you've been working with us for a little while now.
I
You
have.
did He-Man.
He-Man, let's see, Wolverine,
Deadpool core.
Core.
Yeah.
Batman Bane.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
Why did I not know that? Yeah, I just remember the He-Man one because the He-Man one was. I was at PowerCon this past year and I walked past it and I was like, oh, that looks like ours. And I texted Gracie, who was like, yeah, that's because Dave Wilkins is there. And I was like, oh, oops.
Yeah.
Cool. So beyond doing amazing art prints with us, you are a cover artist for comic books as well.
Indeed.
What have you been working on lately?
I'm taking a break right now.
Okay.
But some of the last stuff that I got a chance to touch was like Batman Ninja Turtles crossover.
Oh, fun!
Yeah, stuff like that.
I have all of those.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That was a great little mini series.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they kind of are an obvious crossover when you think about it.
It's true. Like when I first got the call, though, I was like, "Wait, like, so did the Turtles go to Gotham, or like?" And they're like, "Dave, do you want to do the cover?" And I'm like, "Yes."
Yeah. Obviously, I do.
Yeah.
And then also, you're a full-time art director at Sony as well.
Yeah, we're right down there in San Diego at PlayStation.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's super fun.
So, what video games have you worked on lately that you can talk about? I know there's probably some you can't.
It's a little indie game you guys may have heard of, God of War.
Oh, God of War. Oh, I think that sounds familiar. Just like it's a little bit popular.
It's on the bubble. Like most people don't know about it.
Yeah,
yet.
most people don't know about it. It's really kitsch. Like only hipster gamers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a hipster game.
Awesome. So, what did you do on God of War?
We did a lot of like looks for Kratos.
Yeah, that character that no one really knows about.
Yeah, we had
kind of underground. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were fortunate enough to like help Santa Monica, in a little tiny portion down there at VSG.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's super fun.
So amazing.
Yeah.
And you also have an original property, El Zombo.
Oh yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that for those who don't know El Zombo.
El Zombo is a zombie luchador, a Mexican wrestler. Yeah. Yeah.
Is this in comics?
It is in comics.
Do you have it?
We did a series about 10, 12 years ago with Dark Horse. Yeah, it was super fun. And so we're bringing him back this year. Yeah.
And we can get these comics?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So the original book series is in trade right now.
Oh, nice.
So it's up on Amazon.
Sweet.
And the new hardcover should be up there soon.
We have like a hardcore zombie fan right here in Kitty, so I'm just wondering like what's Kitty's take on all of these like zombie luchador? Interesting.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So you can get the original trade on Amazon.
Absolutely.
But when does the new stuff come out?
We go to print end of the year, so hopefully we'll have everything up first of the year.
That's so exciting.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't wait.
Yeah, I'm super stoked on that one.
I like want to ask you tons of questions about it, but we're really actually here to talk about the art print. So
let's talk
we
about
have what were some of your inspirations for this particular print?
Well, Swamp Thing is one of my favorites, and I have like a little personal connection with that guy. The actual original Wes Craven movie was shot in Charleston, South Carolina, where I'm from.
Oh wow, yeah.
And so, like as a kid, you could actually see them, and like my uncles had me on this, and they're like, I see this green guy, and I'm like, that's not the Hulk,
Yeah.
And they were like, no, it's Swamp Thing, it's a comic. And so, like, dual fold after seeing him, like, going from the trailer to the set as a kid, they took me to the comic shop, and so I got to see Bernie Wright's first.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I've been dialed into that dude for quite some time.
So is this kind of like one of your, like, check?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like a bucket list type character 100%. To be able to draw?
And especially because, like, we went with the classic Wrights and pose.
Oh, definitely. It's very reminiscent of Wrights.
Yeah, and Paul's amazing, design for the sculpt. Yeah.
That's so cool. So were there any inspirations from the movie? Like, did you put
Oh,
a
yeah.
little Charleston in there
Yeah,
anywhere?
there's definitely some Charleston in the trees and stuff back there.
That's so awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. So you had a chance to see the maquette when it was in the paint department.
That's true.
And so what were your impressions of the maquette, since you're such a big Swamp Thing fan?
It's pre-ordered.
Oh,
If
yeah.
If that's any indication.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like I'm a huge fan of that.
That's so cool. And so what are some of your favorite Swamp Thing storylines?
Oh, man. Like, I really like believe it or not, the new 52.
Me too.
Right.
I loved it.
I thought
What
it
Scott
was,
Snyder did with it was so brilliant.
Yeah,
Totally agree.
It was like a real horror vibe to it.
Yeah,
That
and the way it crossed over with Jeff Lemire's Animal Man was just brilliant.
Oh,
so good.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
all right. Cool. We got.
we're
We got this. And as well as obviously Alan Moore.
Obviously. Yeah. Some of the fun stuff was a lot of times when he would have Constantine and Batman kind of.
You always have to and it's the guys that struggle with the darkness.
Yes. Yeah. Always fun.
Yeah, they're so amazing. So we're just going to give you a couple stats on the Swamp Thing art print. Right now, it is a limited edition of only 250 pieces, and it is available for pre-order right now. So head on over to sideshow.com/swampprint, which is very difficult to say. sideshow.com/swampprint. Yes, it's on. Just type it. It's on the bottom of the screen right now. It will be shipping between May and July, so very soon. Actually, that's a very soon window, which is a thing that I just made up. And you can get it in both the framed and unframed version. It is hand signed by this amazing man right here, Dave Wilkins. It is 18 by 24 fine art giclée and has an embossed seal of authenticity that comes with it. So, anything you want to add to this? Any little artist tidbits of things? Ooh, we probably have some questions. Oh, Armand wants to know, what would you want to work on in the future as far as comics or games?
Oh, man. That's so much.
Yeah, your mind just exploded.
Yeah, I know.
It.
There's definitely things that I haven't touched that, like Conan. I would love to do something with Conan. I did my own fan print of Batman versus Predator versus Alien back in the day, like in the 90s when comics were a lot more fun.
And they did a lot more crossovers.
Exactly.
Like
I'd love to do some Predator. I'm a huge fan. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Monster stuff.
Monsters.
Yeah.
Monsters. Who's your favorite classic monster?
The Wolfman. Easily the Wolfman. I love the Creature from the Black Lagoon, but the Wolfman is
my kind of dude.
There's
right
something
here.
right there that I'm a huge fan.
It's the people that struggle with the darkness.
Yes.
Yeah. I get it. Awesome. What made you want to do a close-up of Swamp Thing for this print as opposed to an environmental one? Can we get? Thank you. Sorry.
Again, mostly it was because of just an homage to Bernie. That original
when he's emerging.
Yeah,
from the
that
swamp.
midriff shot. I just couldn't see doing anything else, and we lost him last year.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This is probably a pretty personal question. Were you working on this, or when did this come into the timeline of losing Bernie Wrightson?
It
must have been a pretty emotional piece.
Yeah, it was right after we started talking about it, and because we talked about doing the piece before, and then when that happened, David and I were just we can't go any other way.
Yeah, Bernie is so close to all of us, and heart Sideshow too. So he's definitely someone we miss a lot.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So what? Okay. Here we go. What would you want, or which character would you want to draw next for Sideshow? Yeah, let's go with Sideshow because they didn't. Anne-Marie did not specify, so I'm going with who. And Gracie's in the room right now, so
I can hint.
You can hint at who you are drawing next.
I can hint. I know Superman had a tough time with this guy.
Oh.
That's the next thing I'm working on.
Yeah. Superman had a tough time with this guy.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And you like monsters.
Who could that be?
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
And then, who is your favorite villain to draw?
Man.
If you're just sketching, and it just comes out as a villain.
Probably the Joker, just because of the shapes. Like I love, you know, the elongated.
Yeah.
Especially when you go back and you see, you know,
He's
like
evolved.
Brian Bolland's Joker.
Ooh.
You know, even Jim Lee's Joker is like really, and Carlos Danda's Joker is pretty amazing. Yeah. I just love those shapes. Yeah.
How long does it take to make a print? These are all from Anne Marie, by the way. Who, like, I'm calling out her name, and I hope she has a lot of good questions, so I'm asking them all.
Typically for me, from like sketch to finish is about 8 to 10 days.
Oh wow!
Because I only get a couple hours a night because my schedule.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because you're working on that little game God of War.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing. In what medium was this originally conceived? Did you do it practically, paints digitally?
Yeah. So these days, they're mostly a sketch. You know, like line drawing scanned in. I'll render a lot in Photoshop and Manga Studio. I still don't have the drawing dexterity. I still like to draw on paper first. Yeah, tradigital.
So I like that. That's a really good.
That's not me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
okay.
just plucked that from.
All
the
right.
internet.
Well, tradigital. We need to like make that a thing. That's really good. Do you ever? Spartan X wants to know Dave, have you ever thought of working or drawing an alien?
Oh yeah, like 100%.
Of course.
Yeah.
He likes monsters.
Yeah, in that triptych piece, there is an alien in there, and a whole horde of them, like attacking Batman and the Predator. So I definitely, and I'm a huge like old school alien where you can see the skull and the transparent dome. Yeah, that's the scary stuff.
Challenger. Yeah. He's the big alien fan, so I have to like check in with him. Like, do you agree?
Do you co-sign on that?
Yeah. He's like, absolutely. Dave did a piece on Gatchaman's G5. Did he ever draw the rest of the team, or was this a personal piece? Joe Lombardo wants to know.
Joe, well, a long time ago, I worked at Imaji. And we were making a CG film of Gatchaman. So, yes, I have drawn all of them. That image that was put out there was like my concept for G5.
Wow.
Ryu, yeah.
You have to explain. I don't know what that is.
You don't know the bird guys?
Yeah,
Gatchaman. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I got it. Sometimes it's like I'm very visual, so I'm like, I don't know what Gatchaman is.
Yeah,
and then like, the bird guys. Got it.
And it was definitely, you know, it's one of those things where we were almost there. We made that movie, and then Hollywood happened, as it usually does.
Someday.
Someday, though. Someday.
Maybe. Kevin from Facebook wants to know, how much research do you do before painting? I feel like this is a lifetime worth of research that went into this painting.
Yeah, a ton, honestly. Because like every hero or villain that I approach, there's always like a favorite version. So it's like you want to be faithful to the character, but not necessarily like just like rip off somebody else's interpretation.
Yeah.
Which is why I stick to like big guys. Because I know a little bit about that, you know. So just get that shoulder going, you know.
And then the rest just happens.
Yeah, and it's just like sprinkle some Photoshop.
Someone, Wolf from Facebook, in that realm, would like to know how often you work out.
Well, Wolf, these days, because I'm trying to shed some LBs, all 5 days a week.
About 5 days a week.
Yeah.
That's 5 more days than.
I didn't say cardio was 5 days a week. No.
That's awesome. And Jamie Dewberry wants to know, have you ever tried sculpting?
I have, and it's pretty laughably bad. Yeah,
I doubt that's true.
Traditional. Well, the guys that you look up to, like the guys in House, Simon Lee, Paul. If you're comparing exactly, like if you're not doing it on that level, then it's like this is garbage.
But then you do this on this level.
We still got room to grow. There's stuff I need to do to
right.
level up.
So was there a comic or collectible that inspired you to become an artist back in the day? Tyrell Reed.
Yes. Actually, Frank Miller's Dark Knight, issue 3, because that was the only one I could find, and it was like. I didn't know it took me forever to figure out that Batman was the old guy. I was like, wait, he's old. this is crazy, in the big shapes.
Yes.
You know?
Uh-huh.
And then later on, Bisley's Batman Dread. Yeah, the fully painted look, that was it. Because I was like, Frank Miller's Dark Knight made me want to do comics, and then seeing Bisley's Dread was like, this is how I want to do it.
That's awesome.
Like, I have, like, nothing but love for the pen and ink.
Yeah.
But, like, it just blew my mind to see a painted book, like, every page.
Yeah.
You know? Wow. Yeah.
What a great, like, set. That's a great set of inspirations right there.
Oh, yeah.
And very different.
Yeah, very, very, you know,
Yeah.
contrast, yeah.
Wow, that's so cool.
Both Batman related.
Yes, Tim Hansen wants to know if you've ever tried sewing.
Sewing?
I feel like that's a really specific question that he wants me to ask you on air.
I have not tried sewing.
Oh, damn. I was hoping for a story where, like, you did try it.
That would be so
You're like,
amazing.
I did try it, and this is what I made.
Yeah, I know. And then the needlepoint came out, the cross stitch.
When you paint something like Swamp Thing, do you start with a small sketch and work up to the larger piece? Like, what's the...
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'll do a number of thumbnails just to see how he's going to fit in the frame, which, you know, once you get it digital, that all shifts to make sure he's, you know...
Mm-hmm. Can you, like, actually put, like, a frame on a digital so that way you go, oh,
That's exactly how I do it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So
like, you know, scale him and shrink him before I start the render.
Everyone is talking about your arms in the chat.
Yeah.
Those
really
are,
big pencils.
They are art-making arms. That's that. I like that. You have art-making arms.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, awesome. Well, thank you so much, for being on the show. And for coming all the way here and the traffic jam. You
we beasted this thing.
Yeah, you really did. And thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Whoa, we have one more question.
Oh.
How often do you find yourself in the middle of the piece or project and then something comes up that causes you to change directions? That's a good closing question.
I don't know if I necessarily like change directions, but like every single piece, I'll get into a point where I'm just treading water. Where I'm like, this is crap. I don't know where we're gonna go with this. And then some hook will happen, and I'm like, okay.
Is the hook different every time?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is why, like, I always thought I would get faster the more I did, but that's not the case. Because it's like every single thing is like brand new every time.
Yeah.
And like I toss.
You can't draw Swamp Thing the same way you draw Batman, the same way you draw any other character.
And I toss all that data every time. I'm just like, how did I do this before? Yeah, it's gonna take 2 weeks to do this piece because start from ground zero.
Start making art with
That's
the
it.
arm.
Big circles.
With his arms. Yeah, that's the thing. Awesome. Again, thank you so much.
Thanks
it was
for
so
having me.
awesome to have you. We have one more video, and when we come back, we'll be doing Q&A and giving away some Deadpools. You're watching Sideshow Live. We'll be right back. Hi everyone, welcome back to Sideshow Live. I hope you all have been keeping up in the chats and asking bunches of questions because now Dave Wilkins is also in the mix, so you can keep asking him questions. We can bring back his giant arms and we can do the Sideshow measuring around his arms and his wingspan. It's happening. So while you guys start asking us questions, because we do have a really eclectic group of people in the Sideshow Live studio right now, so you can go ahead and ask us questions. But we have 2 winners to announce. First winner is of the Batman Futura Night figure from last week. Was that last week? Yes, it was last week. Thank you, Challenger. And that is Josh Rabb from Canada won that one. So congratulations, Josh, on taking home that piece. Also, we have to announce the Boba Fett animated version figure, and that's the first appearance of Boba Fett from the Star Wars Holiday Special. It's a Hot Toys piece. It's really cool. That is Abel Furman from the U.S. Congratulations, Abel. That's amazing. Wow. Okay, cool. We're starting to get some questions. I feel like my chair dropped. Yeah, it totally did. There we go. Now I'm taller again. I feel better about myself. So, are you guys serving chimichangas on the show today? Quinn St. Kitts wants to know, and she also, Quinn, male, female, doesn't matter. They want to know, this is important. It's labeled as an important question. Chicky, are we getting chimichangas? Chicky's like the big hardcore Deadpool fan in this group right here. So, we getting chimichangas? What do you say? She says okay. Cool. So which characters are you most excited to see in Deadpool 2? Well, Kitty's already seen Deadpool 2. No spoilers. No spoilers. I am so excited to see Domino. I'm so excited to see Domino. And Zazie Beetz, who's playing her, just looks so phenomenal. I like even the changes to the appearance. I love the idea of her having that skin condition. I'm just like obsessed with Domino, and I love her as an actress, so I'm very excited to see her. I know we have people excited about Cable in the room as well. Yes? Yes. Yes. Woohoo! And then obviously Chicky is excited for Deadpool. Yeah. That's Friday we're going to Deadpool? Oh, you're going. I was like, oh, you're going. I was like, oh, I'm inviting myself. I'm like, I'm going to Deadpool? Yes, Friday is Deadpool, and we're very excited about it.
Full Deadpool.
Yeah. Who's your favorite, Dave?
Definitely Cable.
Cable.
Yeah.
That makes sense because the arms.
What a surprise.
It all comes back to the arms. Wow, lots of questions. So speaking of Cable, Zach Lewis wants to know, Josh Brolin Cable? Josh Brolin Thanos? You know what? Ask us again next week because like that's not fair. I haven't seen Josh Brolin as Cable yet, right? I feel like that's a fair question. So save that one for next week, Zach. You can ask us during Q&A. What?
Josh Brolin Goonies.
Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin Goonies. Absolutely. That's amazing. Everyone's asking me about the solo premiere. We'll get to that at the end. How about that? For Dave, from Robert on Facebook, what is your favorite type of paint to paint with?
Probably gouache.
Gouache?
Yeah.
Gouache. I don't know what that means.
Wash.
Gouache.
Yeah.
Gouache. Okay. Hopefully Robert knows what that means because he asked the question. That's amazing. Bill LaHecka, looks like there's a ton of DC pieces that were announced yesterday. Will there be more than the ones being hinted at? Will they be at SDCC? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Possibly. You'll have to come to our booth and see.
Or join us for online Comic-Con.
Or join us for online Comic-Con if you can't be at the show, because we'll show you everything. It'll be awesome. That's my answer. I don't know what's going to Comic-Con yet, so I can't answer that question. Does anyone in this room know if a whole bunch of DC pieces are Chicky's saying yes. And she's going like this. So like that's a Yeah. Caprice is asking, what is your favorite horror piece that you own? For everyone in the room, I imagine, because we have horror collectors in this room. Dave?
I have a Brom piece.
You have a Brom piece.
Like,
Whoa.
Brom.
Whoa.
His new book, Lost Gods.
Wow. Dave has a Brom piece from Lost Gods, so we all have to go to Dave's house and check that out.
That just made everybody else's.
Yeah, I was like, mine's like, I have a Wolfman shelf at home.
I have an original that he painted in my house.
Yeah. Yeah.
On premises.
You asked.
Yeah, no, that's a really cool. I was like, my Alex Ross Wolfman print. That's really cool. Wow. So I don't think any other pieces matter because Dave Wilkins has a Brahm.
I have a mummy from Universal Mummy in the sarcophagi.
Ooh, Chicky has a Universal Mummy in the sarcophagi PF.
I have just the sarcophagus.
You don't have the mummy, you just have the sarcophagus? Amazing. I love it. Do you guys have horror pieces? But you guys have the display in your studio of all the old Sideshow horror pieces, so that's pretty spectacular. Yeah. You have alien pieces, that counts as
I
horror.
have a life-size predator bust,
Life-
legendary scale big chap, and a legendary scale predator.
He has legendary scale predator, life-size predator bust, and then a legendary scale alien big chap.
Yeah.
Nice.
Kitty has some court.
Yeah, Kitty
Yeah,
has
I have
court.
Oglavale.
Kitty has Oglavale.
He's so fun.
Yeah.
He's
And
Spirit Faction.
He is Spirit Faction. And he has Scratch. I always call him Doglavale because we kept calling him Oglavale, and then he had his dog, and it was Oglavale and Doglavale. But his name is Scratch.
Yeah, I don't have the dog, but I'd love to have the dog.
With the hands?
Yeah, with the hands for
He
feet.
freaks me out. Yeah, I just have a lot of Wolfman stuff, including like the old Universal Sideshow Wolfman stuff. The Brit says, I have an Ewok, that counts. The Brit also has the creature PF, like the one like that's everybody knows what that one is. If you're like an old school Sideshow fan, you know which creature PF that is. So does Dennis also has the PF. Pineapple on pizza, yay or nay? There is only one right answer.
No.
You know, it's like I don't eat pineapple on pizza.
That depends. If you're in Hawaii, you don't care.
I'm so gay.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say Gracie likes Hawaiian style pizza, so she says
Some
yay.
jalapenos on there too.
Ew.
Jalapenos are good.
Sweet spice.
Sweet and spicy's good, but
I'll have a
not.
little pizza with fire.
I just don't eat pizza in Hawaii. Like if I go to Hawaii, I'll eat like local food, not pizza. Anyway, pizza is personal. Hashtag no judgment, says the Brit. Why is the Brit in chat right now?
Likes pineapple on pizza.
Oh, okay. Can we scroll? Can we scroll? Because I think a lot of the questions got lost. There were some towards the top. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So we asked the favorite horror. Okay, Susan, have you ever cosplayed as Elektra? Yes. Yes, I have. And I still have my full Elektra cosplay. I even have like an Elektra gown that Elle Hoffer Design made me, like specifically because of Elektra. Yeah, I love Elektra. I like Elektra. Someone also asked Susan, why do you like Elektra so much? I like Elektra so much because I always like characters that aren't one side or the other. Like Elektra can be good and she fights for her own causes. She doesn't necessarily align with anybody else. She'll fight alongside Daredevil. She will fight Daredevil if it doesn't align with her cause. So that's it's the same reason it's the same reason I like other characters who have the same type of, it's like the anti-hero type character. I really, really like them. So that's that. And someone also asked if I'm going to dress up at Comic-Con. No, because I wear Sideshow stuff at Comic-Con. I integrate it sometimes into costumes. Like last year I did like a Jin Urso works at Sideshow. Because it was like a lot of Jin Urso gear, but my Sideshow shirt. So I might do like a certain superheroes who work at Sideshow. Because they all do in one way or the other. Cool. So Ian Musgrave says, I just watched Infinity War for the second time last night. I don't know why, but Maw was nightmare fuel for me. I know you're a big Strange fan. What did you think of their fight/interaction? Yeah, I mean, I agree. Ebony Maw is nightmare fuel. He's terrifying, and in like a different way. He has like all these telekinetic powers and he He just uses them for torture and evil. That's awful. I know, and he's just like laughing about it, and he's a jerk, and he's like, I never failed my master, so I'm gonna do all these terrible, messed up things to you in order to get this stone from you. I don't know, Brendan, what did you think of Ebony Maw? I know he's like your favorite.
Oh. Inside joke, everyone.
We got a blind box, like Funko does all those blind boxes. And we got a blind box of Ebony Maw, and I was freaked out by it, so I gave it to Brendan, and now it's like sitting on his desk. And he cherishes every moment with it. That's what I imagine is happening while he's working. Yeah. Yeah, will you dress up for Comic-Con? No. I mean, yes, like sort of, but not comic book accurately. Yes? Does that make sense? Cool. Joe Lombardo wants to know what gave everyone the biggest laugh in Infinity. What? Wise Gamora. Wise Gamora. What gave everyone the biggest laugh in Infinity War? Wise Gamora was improv? That's amazing. I also just, speaking of Drax, feel like I'm positive that I'm invisible. I was doing that to Kitty the other day, and she was just like, how long have you been standing there? An hour. But Drax in general, I adore him. Anyway, biggest laughs in Infinity War. Maybe that didn't involve Drax. I like
names.
What?
Made up names.
Made up names?
Yeah.
That was good.
Made up names.
Oh, we're using our made up names. I'm Spider-Man.
Star-Lord telling Iron Man that his plan sucked.
Oh, Star-Lord telling Iron Man his plans. I liked Iron Man's face. Like, the next time you watch Infinity War, while Star-Lord's saying that, instead of watching Star-Lord talk, watch Robert Downey Jr.'s face. It's the best. He's just like...
The line from Mantis, what was it?
Oh, it's the
take ass and kick names.
Yeah.
Kicking names and taking ass.
Ticking, yeah, that one. The back, yeah, that. I don't want to say that. It's pretty awkward. I thought of another one, but it also involved Drax, where I was like, the pirate angel. Like, he is not a dude. Like, you are a dude. This is a man. Which is what everyone said when Dave Wilkins. I was like, you're Thor now. I did. I brought it all the way back around. This is a man. Yeah. Adam wants to know, Susan, what character made you get into comic books in the first place? Batman. Same. It was Batman. It was Batman Legends of the Dark Knight, that series. And I just kept, because they did like these short little mini ones where one was actually called Werewolf. And they had like Siege and all these different little subtitles to them. And so they were just like 3 issues, and you could just get them anywhere. And I would get them at the mall while I would just run off because I knew exactly which store had them. But it was Batman Legends of the Dark Knight for me. Kitty reads comics a lot and has a pull list. Who was your first character?
Well, technically it was Bart Simpson.
Oh, technically it was Bart Simpson.
Bongo comics.
That's really awesome. Awesome. Follow-up question from Adam. Favorite Batman movie and why? I feel like Dave should also contribute to this as a big Batman fan. Mine is Batman Returns. Yeah, because I was the right age to have seen it and for it to really affect me, and it brought in my love of Catwoman into the mix. So, Batman Returns for me.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, because it's like messed up, but not like still comic book messed up. Yeah. So, yeah. And then for me, Batman Returns fueled me watching Batman the Animated Series. So, I think biggest Batman influence for me was probably the animated series, more so than any movie.
Somebody's fact checking you because they said that you told them the animated series got you in.
They asked movie. Oh, first off, that person asked what character got me into comics. Batman is the character, and no matter what, Batman. It's all Batman. I just said Batman and then Batman. And how are they fact-checking my opinion? They can't fact-check my opinion, and that's the opposite of a fact. Whoever that is not the winner. Whoever that is not the winner. But speaking of winners, Anne-Marie won in YouTube for all of her excellent questions all this entire show. So congratulations to Anne-Marie. She's our first Deadpool 6 scale winner. And so she's going to want to email social@sideshow.com and put Deadpool in the subject line and where she would like it shipped in the body of the email. So congratulations, Anne-Marie. We still have 2 more Deadpools to win, but neither of them are going to Kevin. See what happens. Spartan X, Sideshow, do you all jam to any music while working? Yes, we do. We all have headphones on, so I don't know what we're listening to. I listen to Broadway musicals. What do you listen to, Kitty?
I have playlists themed after my favorite characters.
Oh, that's right. She has like her Jessica Jones playlist.
Yeah, this week is Jessica Jones.
Yeah, and then she has like different characters have different themed playlists, which I actually think I want to adopt, but then I'm lazy and don't make playlists and just listen to the same. Like for a while it was for me the Black Panther soundtrack was just on repeat for months, and now I'm back to show tunes. So, yeah, I know you listen to music, Challenger, because I can see your headphones on.
Yeah, anything from like classic rock to classical.
Classic rock to classical to the Star Trek theme.
Star Trek.
Yeah, I was like, because we always hear his Star Trek theme through his headphones.
Pretty much anything related. It's in a movie.
That's amazing. Fluffy Kitten of Mordor. That is someone's
That's my
username.
favorite Lord of the Rings character.
I was going to say, Fluffy Kitten of Mordor is now my new favorite person in YouTube because of your username. Are there going to be a lot of new statue announcements this year at SDCC? Yes, because there always are. I can safely say yes. But yeah, tune into Online Comic-Con. And is Fluffy Kitten of Mordor going to be at the show to see them in person? Because either way, it's pretty spectacular. We try to give you guys an experience for Online Comic-Con of what it's like to be at the show. Like the chaos. We're constantly bombarding you with live streams the way we are getting asked questions.
And you don't have to deal with any of the foot traffic of the convention
That's
floor.
true. But they kind of do, because every now and then while we're doing a live stream, the camera gets bumped, so they know what it's like to be in the getting bumped all the time. Does anyone know what the license plate on the scooter is referenced to on Lady Deadpool? You do? Brett does.
It's a secret.
I know Will Harbottle does, because he was the one that told us it's a thing in the first place. But to be honest, I haven't looked close enough to know what it is, and I'm not as involved in the Deadpool lore to know necessarily. I enjoyed the I Heart B. Arthur bumper sticker. It's a pretty good reference. And there's a Kraven the Hunter on the other side, which is we geeked out over. Zach Lewis wants to know thoughts on Kathleen Kennedy's comment about a Lando film coming. I feel like I can't answer that because I've seen Solo. Because I feel like I'd be spoiling a lot of things. Anyway, everyone else's thoughts on Lando.
Anything with Donald Glover.
Yeah, and I was like, Donald Glover. Like, yeah, that's the generic answer. Donald Glover can do anything. Who would Dave want to cosplay as if he could cosplay? I mean, if he could. Or if he were to, sorry. I was going to say.
It's okay.
I was like, Dave should cosplay. King Cooper. Wow. He's going deep there. Wow.
The Nintendo deep cut.
Yeah. Wow. King Koopa. All right. That's.
Actually, Deathlock.
You'd be a great
I would
Deathlock.
love to do that.
That would be great.
Yeah,
You.
that's what I guess.
Again.
Monster.
Yeah, again, you should totally do that because he's a monster, and I feel like you could embody the character properly, and you would look like him.
So no cable?
No cable.
No cable. Wah wah.
Yeah, Josh Brolin is in way too good a shape for him to follow that in the room.
I hope so. I'm excited to see him as Cable. I'm staring at Kitty because she's seen him as Cable, but she won't spoil it. So we have another winner. Claude Jordan won in Facebook. So congratulations, Claude. You won a Deadpool. Email social@sideshow.com. Subject line Deadpool, where you want it shipped in the body of the email. Remember, all you guys have 24 hours to claim your prize, and there are terms and conditions on our website. So be sure to check those out. But yeah, 24 hours to claim your prize, or else no Deadpool. It's mostly for organizational purposes and for our inventory, in case you guys are wondering why we have to release prizes after 24 hours. But that's why. Info. Crystal Moore says the Lando comment was retracted because the reporter misunderstood what Kennedy was saying. We all kind of thought that was the case, to be honest.
Oh, we can dream.
But we can still dream that there will be more Donald Glover as Lando. So, yeah. Carl on Facebook is saying, where do you get all your cool t-shirts? Various places. Like, I shop at a lot of places. This one's from Hot Topic. It's a Stranger Things one that now the microphone is blocking because I like Stranger Things. And because I needed to wear a V-neck because of my Sideshow necklace by Han Cholo. Remember when Han Cholo came on and they were like, oh, we're going to make a Sideshow S as a necklace? Well, they freaking did it because they're awesome. And look at this. That is so amazing. I can't wait to have one for real since I have to give this back. But it's going to be pretty awesome. Maybe this is what I'll rock at Comic-Con as well, the Sideshow S necklace. So it's pretty amazing. We have another winner, and that is Jacob Colby, and he is our third and final Deadpool winner. Yay! So congratulations, Jacob. Social@sideshow.com, subject line Deadpool, where you would like it shipped in the body of the email. Michael Lampkin's asking, when you win something, are you supposed to get an email reply or not? It depends on what you won. Usually you get an email with a shipping quote once the contest has been processed. So if that's how you know if you've been processed or not. So that's that. I know that Michael Lampkin did win. He won a Thanos Rising game, yeah? I think so, something like that. I don't know. I know Michael Lampkin won, and I know he's being processed currently. So there you go. So take comfort in that. Guys, we had an excellent show today. We had what? Oh, no. Okay. All right. Well, we had an excellent show today in spite of that weird little awkward hiccup that just happened. We got a very close look at the Swamp Thing art print with artist Dave Wilkins and his guns. So it's going to be a thing, Dave. I'm sorry. He's basically a real life superhero who can also paint like an angel. So Pirate Angel? Maybe? I don't know. Thank you so much, Dave, for joining us on the show and putting up with our verbal abuse. But it was really awesome to have you on. So thank you. And for sticking around for all this. We looked at the Elektra and the Daredevil premium format figures, which are beautiful. Daredevil is available for pre-order currently. Elektra goes up for pre-order tomorrow. We took a closer look at the Lady Deadpool premium format figure, also available for pre-order. Congrats to all the winners. So many winners happened. Remember to head on over to sideshow.com/notify to be updated on every time we go live like this, and then you'll never miss all of our shenanigans. So that is awesome for you and awesome for us because we love having you. We thank you for watching the show. We very much appreciate it. Kitty will be back on Instagram in a few minutes to do the Instagram after party. Yeah? And we'll be doing a dance like this. I promise. You won't see Kitty. No, turning things into a GIF. Everyone turns me into a GIF now. Anyway, you guys are awesome. We will be back next week. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to let your geek side show. Woo!
There's just a massive playing field of characters, and you get all these great stories amongst them.
The X-Men are, in my opinion, the underdogs of the Marvel Universe. Mutants in the Marvel Universe are hated, and they are still fighting for humanity. It's people who are fighting for people who hate them, which is a great twist to the superhero.
They're such misfits. They're good, and they want to be good, but they're not understood.
They all had issues with each other that were very real and relatable. They were just like a big family.
Bringing these characters to life that when we look at them or see them or read a comic book or see a movie, it brings joy, you know? These are superheroes.
Wolverine, you know, he's been around for a long time. He was first shown off in a Hulk comic of him, like, fighting the Hulk. Our first, like, viewpoint of this is like, this dude's fighting the Hulk?
This guy pops knives out of his arms, and that's his power.
Sheep, and just being able to kick ass.
As fans, you of course want to bring your own input to the character. That's only natural. You want to expand on it, but you also have a responsibility to stay true to what made him popular in the first place.
90s comic book characters are very based in spandex, and we want to stay true to that feel, but give it a little bit more of that dimension and texture without making it so far gone it's no longer the character.
If you took that comic book panel from 1979 or whatever it is, and you translate it to a quarter scale statue, there's so much empty space. And so we sort of feel like we have a little bit of license to fill in that gap.
So sculpted on this project, we had Raphael Grizzetti, Marco Plouffe, Martin Canal, and Aaron McNutt. Everything they did was amazing, and working with them was a great pleasure.
Painting that thing was so much fun, you know, with kind of still a comic book approach with the colors, having a clean look, but at the same time, having a realistic touch to it.
At the end of the day, we always work with what's going to be best for the statue and have that wow factor that we want every piece to have. If you started the story reading about Magneto first, and then you met the X-Men after, you would be on Magneto's side.
Oh man, like I like this guy, but he's the bad guy. But there's so much that I can relate to. There's so much that I, you know, approve of or agree with.
The X-Men 90s cartoon was a huge kind of like, that's the X-Men for me. We try to look at what the classic costume was and try to break it down and make it make a little bit more sense in terms of its functionality without totally taking away from the comic book kind of fantasy of the piece as well.
We wanted it to be easily recognizable as Magneto from a distance, but as you got closer, some of the details were richer, you know, more elaborate.
Collaborating together, whether it be the sculptors, the painters, the design team, when we come together and we start talking about it, we go off each other, we feed off each other.
We had the opportunity to kind of mix more current costuming ideas, like integrating different materials into the suit, how it's sculpted, how it's considered, how it's thought about and broken down, and the seam work, which keep it very cool when you get up on it, but like when you're looking at it, it's very much reminiscent of classic Magneto. Let's look at the comic books, let's even look at the animated stuff, and let's make something that is a truly moving, dramatic piece. As adults, we're all bringing that passion, not only to pay homage to what it meant to us as children, but we also had the ability to inject some different life into it.
It's a badass Magneto statue that I'm super proud of.
A lot of time and effort and love has been put into these from day one.
We always look at these pieces and we put our heart and soul into it.
There's a lot of iconic X-Men territory to cover.
Fans can expect more. There's gonna be a X-Wave coming at you.